Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, uptick on holiday, traveling on the left with my Explorer Polar Dial 16570, and on the right the perfect complement for it, a bit more blinged out, very modern, the Omega Seamaster Aquaterra. Both very practical as you can adjust the hour without stopping the watch as you travel to another time zone. But of course, I was feeling withdrawal syndromes from not having a black dial watch. So I headed out to the closest Rolex authorized dealer, which happens to be in the city where I used to study, called Liège. De Sitter has been there for years. It's a well-established franchise for Rolex, but they also carry out different brands like Cartier, IWC, and Piaget at the moment. And we had a great chat for a couple of hours, not only with Mr. De Sitter, but also with Gilles, a student working there who remembered me from last year when I went to check out the Datejust 41 with the Wimbledon dial. He's got a great Instagram page talking about cars, classic cars, and watches. So do check it out. Anyway, talking about Rolex, we're talking about the wait lists and everything. He says the Daytona obviously takes a lot of patience, but even now the Explorer 2, they really get very few of those. Maybe it's a sign that those will be discontinued this year or next year at Basel World. The Explorer 1 takes about 3 months of wait. But luckily for me, they had just received a couple of Air Kings. One had been sold, and the other one was still not spoken for. So I got to check it out. And I guess, like many other people, I had always dismissed it as a cheap entry model, which was pretty much the Explorer with a bunch of numbers exploding on the dial and weird colors. And as we were sitting discussing, and I was fondling the watch, I realized I was totally wrong. The watch has a lot of presence because it shares the same case and movement as the Milgauss. So it's a thicker case, it's 40 millimeters, doesn't have the big lugs of the maxi case. And the more I was looking at it, the more I realized this could be the pilot watch that I've never had in my collection. I had been looking at the Fliegers, the IWCs, but was never too much into it. And so after we had discussed the different things, I asked if they would sell me the watch. I understand that they have a local clientele and they build a strong franchise. And they agreed to sell me the watch, so I was very excited. And for me, living in Hong Kong, I'll be able to get back the VAT. So that's a substantial cut on the price. I got to start to enjoy the watch for a few days, day and night. I kept it on the wrist and really grew into really enjoying the piece. While the Explorer 1 is fairly slim and discreet on the wrist, this one has a lot of presence, not just from the case, but also from the dial, which comes, and that will change how you view the watch. It comes from two cockpit instruments that Rolex tailor-made in 2006 for the Bloodhound SCC hypercar project. Basically a car with a jet engine on the back from a Eurofighter, designed to beat the land speed record and try to reach the 1,000 miles per hour. And so when you see those cockpits, you directly see where the inspiration came from. The dial has those splashes of colors, the classic Rolex green, always welcome, and a cool coronet in yellow. It's funky, along with the Air King writing. And the 369, although it looks like it comes from the Explorer, it's always been part of the Rolex DNA as well. It was already on some vintage Air Kings. So it's a great mix, and as they are not filled with lume, they sometimes in the light they will be very bright and outshine the rest of the dial, and other times they will completely disappear. At night, the lume is only on the triangle at 12 o'clock and on the hands, but it's still enough to orientate yourself. And actually, it's quite a spooky look. It reminds me a bit of the H. Moser watches, which are very simple, with just one or two hands and a simple thing at the top of the dial. At night, it's a bit of that spooky look. And so you can see on my wrist, it's really at home. It's something different. It's something original. A lot of presence, and it's got that great clasp from. I think this is the same as the Datejust 41. So you don't get the glide lock, but you do have the Easy Link, which at the moment I have to keep open. Weirdly, we removed my customary 2 links, but it's a bit too tight. I think I've been overeating here on holiday. And the watch is going to sit really well in my collection next to the Datejust 41 and next to the Sea Dweller. So now I have 5 pieces. It's a great collection. I'd love to add the Pepsi GMT someday and maybe a Daytona, who knows. But that's really difficult to get. So there you go. Let me know what you think about the Air King in the comments. I think it's a really, really cool piece that's been overlooked. And now that there's the whole craze about the Rolex sports models, it's probably one you can still find fairly easily or without too long a wait. And it even commands already a little premium on the resale market. But personally, I'm going to enjoy it. And it might take over the role of my Omega Aquaterra as my go-to watch when I go play music, as it has a good resistance against magnetic fields. All right, I leave you there, and be sure that you will see this watch again in my upcoming videos. Bye bye.